Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dust on Gaming, doing a little bit of a later evening stream. I'm off tomorrow, but Magic Online will be down for an extended dirt nap for the coming of Guilds of Ravnica, and MTG Arena will also be down for its wipe. So there won't be any Magic to be able to be streamed tomorrow morning, so I figured I'd get a quick league in with Boros Burn before the shutdown, so see how this goes. It's the same list I've been running, really haven't had a reason to change it. Coming up here in the next maybe a week or so, we'll try out, someone made the suggestion of playing Flame of Keld. I don't think it'll be great in Modern, but it's worth giving it a shot. I mean, it was pretty good in the standard Mono Red Wizards burn list, but sure opponent good luck. Sounds pretty reasonable. So one thing I've learned, a comment somebody made in one of the videos was the comment of, in a situation like this, because I usually lead on like Sacred Foundry, Shockin, just to set up my colors. But someone made the comment of, why don't I, fetch for basic mountain, and if I draw Inspiring Vantage, then saves myself some life. So, what's up, War Dog? How did that go? Yeah, I wanted to play, I was going to play Grixis Shadow tonight, but, oh, we're up against Living End. Alright, sure. Good old Living End. See? And it just so happened that's how things worked out. Opponent's got a beastie within. Just run out our... Oh, that sucks. Main deck Shriekmaw, huh? That kinda sucks. We don't have enough pressure on our opponent here because of how we sequence and them having Shriekmaw. Not used to Shriekmaw being a main deck card in their deck. Seems like they don't have a green source though, or I guess not a green source they want to shock in here. So I can put them to... Alright, they scoop it up. This would have put them to 7. Or this would have put, yeah, 7. And then we had 6 points of burn in hand, so we could have locked them out of the game. Alright, so... I still don't love these rest in pieces in my sideboard, but as long as they're in my sideboard, may as well play them. So Living End isn't a deck that sees too terribly much play anymore. I'm going to bring in a couple Path to Exiles, which... Actually, no. I shouldn't bring in... Path is not the card I should bring in. Wear Terror is the card I should bring in. Because the two cards that Living End sometimes plays that could be issues are Blood Moon and Leyline. And those are the cards that I should play around here. Because otherwise, this is pretty good matchup overall. Hands like this are garbage. You cannot keep a hand like that. This hand's good. If we happen to, top a land, it's even better. The cards that are relevant in the matchup, they used to run like Brindlebore. Now they run, they really want to beat Burn. I can't think of the name of the card off the top of my head. The graveyard flashback card that gain life equal to number of creatures in your graveyard. Gnaw to the Bone, I believe it is. Pass to our opponent here. Opponent still hadn't fetched there, so I wondered... Did they... Yeah, they mulligan... No, they didn't mulligan. Wonder why they didn't fetch at the end of the last turn, then. Are we going to get Shriek Mod? Looks like no. Alright. Wow, that's a lot of Eidolons. Are they going to, not sure what they're doing here. Alright, so Living End's gonna cost them... eight life to fire it off. Threw away Dryad Arbor. Okay. Wowzers. Okay. Living in Concede? Sure. 7 minutes in and the first match is over. Oh, man. So 3-1 lost to Elves. What was your greedy keep? I'm glad that first match didn't involve much thinking, because I'm pretty tired and beat today. I had work and school, so this is kind of a spur-of-the-moment stream. That's why I was going to do Grixis Shadow, continuing to work through modern decks, you know, trying to narrow down which ones I'm interested in trying for the RPTQ. It's like, nah, that's too much thinking tonight, man. It's too much thinking. Yes, I'd like to play first. This hand is perfectly acceptable. So once again, I'd like to thank whoever pointed out, like, these scenarios, like right here, of playing the basic mountain first, then the Sacred Foundry, just to save on life. I mean, there's a good chance we still got a shotgun the Sacred Foundry at some point, but still, you know, little tips like that, it never, excuse me, never hurts to learn. Like, I've had, you know, a lot of experience, a lot of success with burn, and it's still okay. Pluto Delta could be a lot of things. Looks like Death Shadow. Goodbye, Eidolon. So long, we barely knew you. Yep, still looks like Death Shadow to me. Targeting... So they know what we're drawing here. Skull Crack, sure. Like I said, good chance they're on Death Shadow here, but nature of our hand, we can't really play around too much. And they could just be on like green-black rock too, so there's no like 100% guarantee they're on Death Shadow until we see. Okay, that tends to lead more towards. Player draw. Yep, they're definitely on. Definitely on the Death's Shadow. It's a lot of shadows. So their shadows are going to be quite large this turn. Yeah, I think on the play that's a little bit of a risk. Opponent mistimed that horribly, but that's alright. They must not have a stubborn denial here then, so they're just dead. I don't know if they were just looking for information or what was going on, but the timing on their Mishra's Bauble there was pretty terrible. Like, they should have timed it after I cracked my fetch land, or at least waited till my end step. I mean, I guess it sort of helps their sequencing, but the chances of them actually knowing what the card are very slim. So yeah, I mean, the upside of the hand is huge, but the keep also required huge cojones on your part too. So the Goblin Guide suggestion was back to when Red Baron MTG, I forget what his name is. He's on the I don't remember. Matt Rogers. He is currently a part-time commentator for Wizards of the Coast. He also does Geek Fortress streams. When he was streaming, when he was playing a lot of Burn, he would take out some number of 1-drops against the Death Shadow deck simply because they had so much removal to kind of blank your 1-drops. The thing with Death Shadow is it's kind of a... like, sometimes you gotta go balls out and try to kill them. Other times you have to like, be patient with your burn spells and try to, like, kill them over a turn cycle or two. Because if they're on a Death Shadow hand, they often have to be judicious with how they attack certain things. Alright, I mean, this hand's shaping up to be an aggressive hand. And if we can get them low enough, this Firecraft might be able to finish them off. But our opponent's being smart with how they're attacking the matchup, but poor in, like, some of the technical execution. Like, if we get Brutality here, it's going to suck, but being on the draw, there's really nothing you can do to play around that. Yeah, this definitely looks like a Brutality. 2 modes or 3? Looks like just 2 modes. Alright. Probably have to take Skullcrack or Firecraft here would be my guess. Firecraft's the card that represents the most problems for them. So they're probably debating... Okay, they took Lightning Bolt. That's interesting. We have to fetch Shock here, which kind of sucks, but... Work sucks. I don't like my job. School is fun. A little bit hard because the stuff we were covering tonight was pretty difficult, so... So I'm guessing this is obviously going to put my opponent in Death Shadow range. There's a decent chance their hand is sitting on a Death Shadow or two. So I don't want to cast any other spells main phase here. I'm just going to pass the turn. Plan to Boros, Charm, or Skullcrack in response to whatever they're doing. Alright, see how they let it go here. Just to 11. Looks like either another Brutality or a Big Fishy. So I'll go ahead and play this Boros Charm. There's a good chance it's going to get stubbed. Yep. Can't really play around soft stub here, which kind of sucks, but that's life. Eidolon doesn't really do a whole lot here, does it? It's like a chump blocker, but that's about it. Does make them playing stub a little bit awkward. But then it puts us to... I think Eidolon's just an awkward card in this hand. This is really an awkward game. Maybe I should have run out Skullcrack last turn instead of Boros Charm, because now it made the math just that tiny bit more awkward. So like if I could Boros Charm there, put them to 7, then a combination of this Lava Spike and Firecraft would kill them. But I think I screwed up the sequencing here. So I guess I Skullcrack them main. They have another Brutality, it's whatever. This is just the mana efficient play. Alright, so I think I Lava Spike them here. Play out Eidolon, intending to chump block. That may have been incorrect sequencing here. They have a removal spell, we're just dead anyway. Yep. Alright. I made some screw-ups in that game. If I would have baited with a Skull Crack, the Boros Charm would have been lethal. The Boros Charm plus the land we drew for Exquisitive Firecraft. So that sequencing ended up costing us the game there. Some temptation to go back to Goblin Guides on the play, but this matchup isn't really about being hyper aggressive usually. This hand is risky, man. 2 Skull Cracks, 2 Path to Exile, a Bolt. Don't think this hand's keepable. This hand isn't great, but at least it has some action. They've had that swamp every bloody game. I think it sucks. Yeah, brutality here. This is really gonna freaking suck. Feels like they have brutality as fast as they fetch shocked here. Yep. I think it's another case of WotC not understanding what made up their player base and what built their player base, and kind of corporate screwing everybody over. I mean, it's better from the players from the perspective of getting things cheaper, but it really hurts the local stores. Lavamancer's an interesting one to have brought in. What's up, Space Marine? This Eidolon's probably only going to deal 2 damage, but it is what it is. We have a Deprive here? Snapcaster Mage on what? Not a whole lot going on in your graveyard there, friend. Okay. Snap Thought Scour. Interesting. That tells me you really don't have a whole lot going on. So you probably would have been better off snap. Huh. Surprised you're still up now. Honestly, would have been better off. Okay, they get rid of Path and Lightning Bolt. Which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. Honestly, wouldn't they have been better snap Serum Visioning in here? No blocks. Looks like a Del Fatty here. No, it means that the Magic community is really... Let's see if they attack with both. Didn't figure they would. No. I understand. I understood that, War Dog. I'm just saying, if their plan was to Snapcaster, I don't understand why they didn't Snapcaster. Snapcaster during the last turn, or the Snapcaster Serum Vision's main phase, if they had no action going on as far as probably can't threaten me with Lightning Bolt, so in the end, friend, this does absolutely nothing if you stubborn it. Sure. Path your dude. Wow. Thanks, Space Marine. I appreciate the backhanded compliment / insult, my friend. with friends like, when friends and viewers like that, who needs enemies, right? Oh dear. Oh jeez. Man. Sometimes, Space Marine, you're an asshat. Oh. War Dog, is that a compliment or an insult? I'm not really sure which. My boringish voice, combined with the ability of playing burn decks, will lull your children to sleep. Ha! Yes. I'm here to put you to sleep tonight. Please join the smooth tunes of I Just Want to Play My Burn Deck. Featuring special guest stars Living End and Grixis Death Shadow. See, it's a keep. It's not amazing, but it's... Sand isn't amazing, but it's functional. Like, we don't have a 1-drop to pressure them. The Steering Blaze can be a dead card in certain matchups. It's not the best pressure hand, but it's a pretty good disruption hand. Oh dear. We have got ourselves a Sacred Foundry. Or not a Sacred Foundry, a Celestial Colonnade, friends. Which means our Searing Blaze... Oh, Jiminy G Willikers. These Searing Blazes are terrible in this matchup. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, we won there. Our opponent kind of fooched up. Just go ahead and helix the portal. I swear to Lord, if they're playing... Seriously, they're playing Spell Snare? Most of these blue-white lists have gone away from Spell Snare, so... It makes it all the more obnoxious. This version's gonna be a little bit weird because our opponent's playing, Spell Snare in their list, so... Spell Snare isn't really typical too much anymore. And us drawing all these Searing Blazes absolutely sucks much. So, this is how Blue-White wins Game 1, though, is us drawing a bunch of totally terrible cards and them landing a Jace and just kind of going to town. Idle on, little doggy, idle on. Is this going to get snap path? Nope, it's just going to get straight up path. Alright. Our opponent's now going to know we have 3 basic mountains, which kind of sucks. I'm going to get Teferi'd, aren't I? Nope. Okay, sure. They're debating whether to play their Teferi. They must have like a Teferi or a Jace here, and they're debating whether they want to try to land it. It's like, do I die if I do this? Actually, no you don't, because my hand sucks. Remember how I was talking about it's not a good pressure hand, and it's not a good, if Searing Blaze ain't good? It's kind of funny how I foreshadow things, and I don't even mean to. Yeah, my opponent's, like, really debating whether they wanted to try to land their Teferi here. Oh, beautiful Vendilion click. Thank you, opponent. I wanted to try to kill you. Alright, do this. Do this. And... sweet! Let's get these garbage Searing Blazes out of my deck. So Blue-Eye Control's a little bit wonky because with the sideboard config I have, I don't have great cards for the third and fourth slot, so I usually bring in the Lavamancers. And the reason I usually bring in the Lavamancers is, unlike Jeskai in particular, they don't have a ton of unlike Jeskai, they don't have a ton of spot removal. So Grim Lavamancer can stick on the board for a couple turns and actually be impactful. This hand's pretty decent. We got our 1-drop pressure into all relevant spells, so. Kill the infidels! Yes, we killed the control infidels. But, I think my Goblin Goodle is gonna get pathadoodled. My opponent mulligan? My opponent mulligan. And they wanted the card on top, so is the land? Oh, they faked us out with their clever... But I can be a controller player too, so does that make me a half-breed? Now our hand's kind of garbage. I mean, our hand does stuff, but now we have to do like 20 damage the hard way, and that's not easy against doing 20 damage the hard way against blue-white before they can stabilize is not easy. Like, usually it's a lot easier when you get your creatures to do some damage. Like, this Eidolon's probably going to get logic neuted. Nope, it resolved. Alright. Which means they probably have a path or something here. Celestial Purge. Okay. Should not be too shocking. Yeah, maybe to get one Sacred Foundry O'Doyle, but I don't want to go too crazy, because they do run, even if you don't, we're going to get time lead here. Nope. Jasse. They're going to Jasse us. Oh no. Oh no. Not Jace the Mind Sculptor. Not Jasse the Mind Sculptor. My opponent has a Jasse. However, do we beat a Jasse? That being said, though, we really do need to draw a burn spell here, because then our opponent gets to hold up counter magic and gets all kind of sloppy. Yeah, like our opponent took a gamble and now they just died, so Bolt, you're dead. There's Space Marine. Match is over, you can go to bed now. Go to sleep, little blue-white control player. Go to sleep, your deck got zapped. No, it's not that he sucked, it's blue-white doesn't have a lot of great cards in the matchup. Your version is like versions that have like Gideon and and such are a little less susceptible, because like game 1 Searing Blaze nonsense isn't like, if our opponent didn't play a creature game 1, there's a good chance we don't win that game. Because, like, if they had landed, like, a Teferi or a, something along those lines, then there's a good chance they could have, like, straight up, like, stabilized and kept us from killing them. Ooh, this is Bluetron. Called it. This is going to be... Y'all are hilarious, man. This matchup is usually pretty rough. I have lost this match before, so I'm not going to sit here and say it's a slam dunk for Burn, but it's... I wonder if they have like a worm coil next turn. This could get a little messy if they have like worm coil this turn. Because we are a little low on spells here. See what their payoff is. If it's just Ballista, I think we're in okay shape. Okay, looks like it's Map and Worm Coil. Yep. That's going to make things a little bit rough here. Especially when we're drawing all lands. I think we'll just pass, see if they risk attacking here. I suspect they're going to attack, though, and the game is just over at that point. Because they have Walking Ballista to block, and it's just... eh. Yeah, like, we know... Wait, did they? Do they actually have Spell Snare in hand? 2, 4, 8. I can put them to 2. They crack us back. And then kill us with Ballista. I mean, I'll play the game out, but I think we're dead here because they had, like, the absolute, like, best... We could, but I don't think we're winning the game that way. Womp womp. Yeah, they won that game because they had one of their better payoffs in that situation. Like, they won because they got to play like the Tron game without being a true Tron deck more than anything. So, like I said, you can definitely lose the matchup. They're kind of a weird amalgamation of nonsense because they have all those counter spells. Actually, I don't really want the pass. They only have like 1, maybe 2. Well... do I risk this keep? Never gonna happen. They're never gonna ban the Urza lands. Land one time. Sweet. See, Once upon a time... See, once upon a time, the Urza lands weren't the most busted mana engine in Modern. Once upon a time, there was this card called Cloudpost and Green Sun Zenith that made... You ever think, you think the cards, if you think the cards, Amulet Titan and... If you think Amulet Titan and Tron are obnoxious, imagine if they had this bastard baby that could cast, like, turn 4 Emrakul the Promise, or Emrakul, the Aeon Storm. Okay. We'll just let them play their Mindslaver. Pop the Mindslaver. There you go. Good little boys and girls. Sneaky. And that's another way they can win the matchup is Mindslaver. Yeah, it was 8 post at the time. But 8 post was also backed up by... 8 post was also backed up by 8 copies of Primeval Titan being in the deck. Seems fair, right? Oh yeah, turn 3 Primeval Titan into turn 4, No. Actually, War Dog, at the end it was 12 post. That's why they had to ban it. Because Glimmer Void kept the aggro decks from, being able to play. Because the 2 best decks, after all the nerfings they did, after Pro Tour, Berlin, the 2 top decks in Modern were Zoo and 12 post. Zoo got Wild Nakatl banned, and 12 post got Green Sun Zenith and Cloud Post banned. Because imagine a ramp deck that the aggro decks couldn't kill because of the lands they played, and the combo decks couldn't beat it because the deck was just as fast as them. Because turn 3 Primeval Titan, turn 4 Emrakul the Promised, and GG, well played. Thanks for coming. Yeah, this is one of our... Against not knowing... Actually, Vesuva was printed before Glimmer Post. Vesuva was printed before Glimmer Post. Because Vesuva was in Time Spiral. Vesuva was in Time Spiral and, yeah, Emrakul the Promised End, sorry. See if they make a move here. I think I'm just supposed to bolt them. Keeps them from cracking the map. If they have Condescend, they have Condescend. It's whatever. Yeah, this looks like a Condescend. Card that I was somewhat trying to play around, but... See what they do with their scries here. Yeah, Emrakul the Aeon's turn on turn 4 or 5 gets quite stupid, especially when it's being hard cast. Because the deck also had access to Ayabugan too. Alright, so opponent's going to have Tron next turn. pretty much regardless of what we do here. So, wait, they're playing out Champion of Wits here. Interesting. So they have a chump blocker this turn, which kind of sucks. They pitched a Mine. So they could have Tron already in hand. Exquisitive Firecraft's a nice one. So we'll see what they do with their blocks here. I might actually go ahead and wear this, so I can put them to 8 here. Is that worth it? Probably not. I probably just want to leave Wear Tear up for whatever their follow-up play is. Yep, they have Tron. Please don't be the A10 split. Please don't be the A10 split or 710 split. Nope, it's a Worm Coil Engine. Repeal. So, kind of in an awkward spot here. Kind of in a really awkward spot. This Worm Coil Engine is going to really do us a number. Presuming they have a counterspell here. Okay. Not even sure why they paid that much mana, to be honest with you. No, it wouldn't have gotten us anywhere. Sure. Yeah, this is live gameplay, Space Marine. To be honest, we're gonna lose this match because they've had... Well, I've been doing some replay things. That's why, he's asking. Because I've been mixing replays with things. Space Marine, behave yourself. So we know... Pretty sure their card in hand is... Do we actually know what their card in hand is? Because I think they fetched away the Anticipate. It's rough because they've had Worm Coil Engine game 2 and 3, and our draws haven't lined up great. I think... Alright, so... Do I want to upkeep or draw step this? Yeah, I'm just trying to think when I want to time the Wear Tear here. Because if I upkeep it, then they can put the Worm Coil on top. If I draw step it, they have another chance to draw a counterspell here. So I think I draw step it, because I don't think we can beat another Worm Coil Engine. And if they have another counterspell, they have another counterspell. There's not much we can do about this. Guess I should have brought in the pass, maybe. So, yeah, it looks like they have another counterspell here. Yep, Thirst for Knowledge. Yeah, it's kind of rough, because it's pretty likely we're going to lose this game from here. So losing this matchup of all matchups kind of sucks. But like game 1, they had Worm Coil on 3, which is actually very unusual for someone put a collar on Space Marine. Alright, I don't think we're beating this board. Yep. Alright. My thoughts on Chain to the Rocks in place of Path. 2 cards. Field of Ruin, Assassin's Trophy. I don't want anything to do with it, pretty much. Until Assassin's Trophy was getting printed, I would consider playing Chain to the Rocks as, like, if I wanted additional copies of this hand is perfectly reasonable. Bad boy, sit. Well, welcome to the stream, Isabel. I'm glad you could catch it live if this is your first time or if you followed the channel before. Space Marine is our resident bad boy, but he oh no, you told him you love control. Oh no, oh no. He might not leave you alone. You told him you love control. All Space Marine plays is blue-white control. Oh dear Lord. Someone get a collar on that boy. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're having fun. I mean, last match was fine. I mean, it happens, you know. So there's a reason I've had a boatload of I've had a boatload of 4-1 finishes in all these leagues. Usually something stupid happens. Actually, am I supposed to... Huh. Am I supposed to... Excuse me. Am I supposed to blaze this here? It may sound dumb, but we know they have the scavenging ooze. So if I blaze them here, they take 7, go to 7. Well, I'm thinking about doing it before blocks, that way they can't chump away 2 damage. So Yeah, that's... I'm actually probably going to think Boros Charm Face more than Helix that. Or, actually, the flip side is, I don't have to cast anything right now. Like, I can just attack with my creatures and hold up Searing Blaze. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. Because I don't want to put more than... Bounding Crisis. Alright, looks like there's some type of Teamer Kiki list. Yeah, that's my thought process, especially while I can trigger it during their turn. Wow. Not exactly the card I would think they would run out here. They still could have Spell Snare here, so we're not out of the woods yet. Never mind, we're out of the woods. I'd say at this point we're over the river and through the woods. Yeah, MTGO is not for everybody. Let's get some more information here. I'm surprised they conceded after the triggers. Alright, so... They're likely Teamer Kiki, which means the range of creatures we're probably looking at. We're looking at probably Tarmogoyf, Scavenging Ooze, Bounding Crisis, Kiki Jiki, possibly Tireless Tracker, and possibly Snapcaster Mage. So... some consideration to bring in Path to Exile, but, well, yeah, I'm considering Pass. The question is like, what cards am I cutting here? Because, like, they probably have counterspells post-board, which means I really want to bring in these Firecrafts. Like, these counterspell-based aggro decks can be somewhat annoying. So, this is not a matchup I see very often, so... yeah... Mancer might be alright, but the question becomes, what cards do I cut? So, there's a couple of things going on here. So, I'm a little bit paranoid of teamer decks like this being Blood Moon decks. They could have Goyfs. Those are the one card that I would be worried about. So I'm going to cut Boros Charms here and bring in... no, I want to leave in Skullcrack. I want to leave in Skullcrack because they've already shown us Scavenging Ooze. So I think until I know more of what's going on, I'm going to board out 4 Boros Charms, board in the 2 Searing Bloods and 2 Path to Exiles. And I'm going to leave in Eidolon simply because... Space Marine, weren't you supposed to be going to bed? Yeah, Lava Spike might have been a cut there. The thing is, okay, so... No, but Goyf's just a good beater, and if you know anything about Teamer, the Teamer, the Teamer, the Teamer twin decks specifically ran green because of Goyf. Spike might have been the cut. The thing was, so our opponent showed us basic island, you're pumped because, let's be honest, Space Marine, you're more pumped because it's a female than there's a new person in chat. Hate to burst the proverbial bubble there. Alright, so this hand on the draw I'm gonna keep. I have 4 1-mana plays. We could get punished for this hand. It's borderline simply because we have just the 1 land and not a lot of creature interaction. We just have the Rift Bolt to interact with creatures. So this hand could be a little risky. Oh, it probably has like a birds or something here. Yep. Which means Kitchen Finks next turn. Well, I mean, it's kind of what I was afraid of here. So alright, Coiling Oracle, sure. Control and Storm, Isabel. That's an interesting, interesting combination. You may primarily play Modern, I'm guessing. Alright, so what is the play here? Just attack with Swift Spear and play Eidolon. You used to be a standard honk not that long ago, Space Marine. Mostly play Legacy. Huh. So what do you play? Do you play Storm in Legacy, and do you also play Miracles then in Legacy? Cryptic Command changed me. So our opponent got to Boulder Eidolon here, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to hold up Path here instead of playing Lava Spike, in case our opponent has like a Bounding Crisis here. What do they go after here? Alright, so I'm going to want to counter the Crisis here. Yeah, if we get Dispelled here, we could actually die on their untap here. Nope. Looks like they're just going to bolt something. See, this right here, this is screaming Blood Moon. This right here is screaming Blood Moon. This many basics is screaming Blood Moon. Are we about to get... I was going to say, are we about to get Kiki Jiki'd here? Nope, Bloodbraid Elf. Ooh. Oh. Yuck. Oh no, back to basics instead of Blood Moon. Yep. The game isn't over yet, guys. Depends on what their last card in hand is. If it's like another Bloodbraid Elf or a Scavenging Ooze, this could still be a game. Or if it's a Kiki Jiki, that could get disgusting. I'm a pessimistic burn player, what can I say? Ugh. Okay, that's kind of disgusting. Wow. Spellskite's a card. Well? Yeah. Spellskite's a card. I may have to point this, this really sucks, but I really gotta point this, point that spell at the, Spellskite there. Now our opponent gets to go kinda nuts with card draw here. That many basics? Dear Lord. They really do, believe in Blood Moon. They may not even have Kiki Jiki in their deck. Bounding Crisis just might be a tempo play. Or they may have boarded it out because of the nonsense we're playing. They're going to hit us for 8 here? I mean... Wowzers. Okay. Remember that chance we used to have? Yeah, that was just our chance going out the window here. All right. Alright, so we definitely want the Path to Exiles. We definitely want Monster Swift Spears. Get these Lava Spikes out of our deck. And... no. You would have to kill all of their creatures. Because evolution is not targeted. Yep, Sands is pretty good. We handed them a land, so they're up on cards already. So if they have a bolt, we want to bait them into using it on our buddy Goblin God here, but it doesn't look like they do, so... That said, the card is also pretty brutal against, counterspells are also pretty brutal against it, so... See if they pitch like Bird or something here. Ooh, that's a really sick card here. Yeah, it depends on... This is like their key turn. If they have like a Kitchen Finks, this could be a game. If they have like nothing, then this game's probably over. Like Birds of Paradise is kind of nothing. Double Birds of Paradise is like... Yeah, Bolt kind of sucks here. So they basically have double Chump Blocker into... Are they dead? No, we can only put them to... I'm guessing they had that Bolt the whole time and just didn't want to hold up the mana to use it. Yeah, they've got enough value stuff going on that they really don't want to, Skull Crack you? That said, if we don't kill them over this next turn cycle or two, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm going to say, if they have a counterspell, they have to use it here. Good old Rift Bolt, huh? Scrab Clan Berserker. You know how long it's been since I've seen that card? Just plays around them having Dispel. Strangleroot Geist and Evolution. That seems like the likely play here. Actually, they should, I guess they're trying to hold up a second blocker. I'm gonna say they should have evolutioned main phase to actually get the extra point of power here. But Finks isn't going to be enough here, so... Baloth, however, might be. Well... Teamer Junk or not, they're certainly putting us to the test here. And we know they have Bounding Krasis in hand. I guess their hand is Krasis and Scrab Clan Berserker, so their hand's not all that threatening. Four, 7... I just let this happen. I don't think they have double bolt in hand, so don't think this is going to hurt us too terribly much. Do need to draw another spell here, though. That's going to be rough. Because now they get to tap down one of our dudes. block the other one, and then tempo us out here. That Berserker basically guarantees we're dead. Yeah, and if they have a bolt here, we're dead. And I don't even know if we have any single draw that, like... Yeah. Yeah. Well then. Gotta say, a little bit of a delayed reaction there, Moto. It's like I thought that was match number 5. Okay. Wow. I've had some weirder matches, but that was definitely, well, there's gotta be some play line there that I could have, done that maybe we didn't die to that nonsense. I honestly have to go back and watch the videos to see, like, if there was some play line, some sequencing line that I missed there. So, yeah, that was kind of crazy. That was insane. Alright, well, yeah, both the matches we lost were close. I think the Bluetron matchup was just... I'm sure there was something in both matches that the sequencing that I screwed up, that I might have been able to squeak out one of those two. That's the thing with Burn, is you really have to try to maximize your, like, sequencing. Like, sometimes getting loose with how you throw your spells at things. Like, I may have been, like, especially that last game, I felt like I might have been playing a little bit loose because maybe I thought I was further ahead than I was. Kudos to our opponent. I mean, that obstinate Baloth certainly got us. Like, if all they had was, like, Finks there, we were golden. But because they had Baloth somewhere in their 75, you know, props to them for not wanting to lose the Burn, I guess. So, I mean, but somewhere in that sequencing, it felt like I screwed something up. So... Good night, Space Marine. Sleep well, man. Oh. I think you have a fan, Isabel, whether you wanted one or not. Space Marine's a good guy, but man, sometimes. Oh dear. Alright, so I'm trying to think here. So tomorrow morning when I'm off, unfortunately, Magic Online will be down. So I won't be able to stream. At least not Magic Online. I might stream a little bit of World of Warcraft, but I don't think so. So going forward, just doing a little bit of wrap up here about what's going on with the channel. Going forward, I have the RPTQ to prepare for. The new standard stuff's going to start rolling out, so that's going to be a lot of what's going on. I usually stream more in the early afternoons and mornings, but I stream later in the evenings on the nights I don't work the next day. Because I work a 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. shift, so I tend to stream more in the mid to late afternoons on the nights I'm working the next day. But I do, my personal thing, I like to stay up later in the evenings, but because of work I have to be more of a morning functional person, so So Isabel, are you in the U.S. or are you over in Europe, or because like I can try to like give you approximations of the Eastern time zone. I usually stream 7 or so, or 8 or so after dinner. What are my plans for standard? See what decks are playable and play them. I intend to check out like Boros theories, like the Boros decks, the mono green aggro decks, Merfolk, Turbo Fog, Esper, Grixis Dragons. I don't personally have any brews lined up yet. It's going to be a couple days before Magic Online does their pre-releases and stuff. So we'll see what decks come of it. Like we'll see what kind of starts popping out, and then kind of go from there. The nice thing about Sideboard MTG being around is a lot of the stuff that I miss with Standard, he's gonna catch, so I can kind of cheat off of him and the guy he gets most of his decks from. What is his name? Dev. Can't remember the name of the channel. Strictly Better MTG or whatever it is. That's the nice thing is Sideboard MTG with all the standard he covers, I can kind of narrow down like the decks I want to focus on. But I'm really hoping I have the 13th off at work, because there's a standard PPTQ at one of the bigger shops in this area. So I'm really hoping I get to go to that, but if I don't, I'll have to try to spike the RPTQ pretty much, because I'm not going to get too many weekends off leading into the holidays being a retail worker. So whatever PPTQs I can hit during the next season, I have to hit. And Wizards is doing a horrible job of announcing what the Pro Tour and anything is going to look like, so Cleveland's like my best chance, especially since it's like an hour away from where I live. An hour away from where I live. So if I can do the if I can spike the RPTQ and make it to the Pro Tour, that'd be like the perfect storm in terms of like this is like the closest a Pro Tour will ever closest a Pro Tour will ever be to me, unless it's in Pittsburgh, and you know, I'm one step away. And it all depends on the size of the RPTQ, but I'm probably gonna have to minimum top 8 and possibly top 4 to make the Pro Tour, and maybe even make the finals. So I really have to be selective with what deck I play. Burns certainly obviously at the top of the list. Just Guide Miracles and the 4-color Geist list, and then there's been some other lists I like, but I also have to acquire the cards too. So, you know, Burn and Jeskai Miracles are the decks I obviously have in paper now. So, we'll see what happens. Isabel, if you play Modern or certain limited Legacy decks, I could stream them. Most of these guys I've streamed some version of War Dog. Your job is to build the best green-black rock deck so I can learn how to beat it. That's your job. Because Assassin's Trophy is going to be right up your alley. But thanks. I appreciate the support. But stepping up into the big leagues is a severe butt whooping. So, I've stepped up into the big leagues twice on day 2 of Grand Prix and gotten my hind end handed to me. So, I'm taking this prep pretty seriously. So, anywho, I think I'm going to call it an evening. I got some other stuff to work on before Magic Online goes down for 8 or 10 or 12 hours. So, on that, you know that, yeah. But, I got some stuff I need to get done on Magic Online before it goes down. I might post another video later, we'll see. Like, I might do one of the replay stuff, off stream. So I have like 5 leagues to get through. I have 3 more Burn leagues, an Aetherworks Marvel. Well, thanks, Isabel. I appreciate the support. But I'm going to wrap it up here for this evening. I'm getting pretty tired too, so I don't think I'll be up a whole lot longer. So, alright, thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. I hope everybody has a great evening. Hope everybody sleeps well. If you're a night owl and your day is just beginning, I hope you have a good night out. But yeah, I'm pretty pooped. I might, I don't know. If I'm feeling up to it after my shower, I might grab do a short like WoW stream tonight, because I haven't played much of the expansion. Really need to get into it. But all right. Hope everyone has a good evening. If I don't get back on, otherwise, I hope everyone sleeps well. And thanks for catching up. And I'll talk to you guys later.